Alright, everybody that has a Catalina 25, I'm pretty sure you got troubles with your Forhatch. Because I know I did. For one thing, this thing here for this solar, it doesn't work. I mean, they'll pay like, oh look, I got the stainless steel model that costs $200, but the whole motor mechanism, the battery, everything in it's junk. So you're lucky it'll last for 6 months. So this one didn't work. I went out, the battery was dead. It's just an iCAD, you know, they're junk. You don't want it. It's a waste of money. And not only that, now you can't lay on the hatch. This is not what the designer of this boat made the hatch at a nice chaise lounge incline like that. See, this is level and this is sloped. It's hard to show 3D on a camera. But I have the pencil here to show you. See this part right here above this line? I created this whole lip. And how did I do that? By taking, and I'll show you then. And right here, if you can see, I also built this up with about 7/16 right here, because this came right up to here. So I'm there. Now it's kind of weird that, you know, that this comes right up even with the lip. And it's just, you know, you can see I have a much better profile by filling it in, and the factory did a shitty job. Yes, sorry, they really did. And so what I did was, let me show you what this stuff is first. This stuff here is nothing more than sawdust mixed with polyester resin. You can see where it's cracking right here, cracking here. So as far as taking screws, I don't know if you ever put screws in the particle board, but they don't hold worth shit. And if you want to see a real joke, look at my particle board, you know, folding galley table that was in here. I mean, it's just crap. But because it's impregnated with polyester resin, it's not going to rot that fast. But as far as holding screws, nah, not even close. So you can see this sharp edge right here too, see? You bend over and whack your head on that, and it's going to split it wide open. Okay, and that's the same thing with the hatch. So you see this is all exposed. I'm going to show you how to create this, and you'll think, you'll go, by God, that's the very best way. First, you want to build this up with the polyester, because you can't put polyester over the epoxy, which I used here. So I built this up. And then, that's not the only place. Right here, see, I built this up too, because right here there was a big freaking hook. Let me show you what I mean. Something's wrong there. See? Look at that. And then it gets like real weird here. But most of the human eye can see by this that that's the center. Not over here. So yeah, even just that little bit drives me nuts. You can see this big hook, and over here's the dead center. Not over here. It's like only off by 2 inches, but it's still, I find it disturbing. So you can see again I have a perfect profile. Alright, so what I did was I just eliminated this stuff. I actually wasted my money and bought it and realized it's stupid. And I got this 2-inch tape and 1 inch. And like I said, I built this up about 7/16 here because it was so freaking thin right here in the middle. And I'm not going to deal with it, so I had to sand all this down and build it up with matting. Think probably like 8 sheets of continuous matting that you can cut with scissors. And this here is from this Stretch-On 800. It seems to get wrinkly. You're better off just using regular nylon bagging film. And I compressed it, you'll see, with C-clamps. And it really come out nice, huh? I think so. And then I even went over this far and built it up. And then see, I screwed up now, but see when you set the hatch, and like that, see, then you can put this epoxy resin here. See, what happened here is my camera, it once, you know, you basically got to format it every time you upload, so I didn't format it, and I uploaded to the you know, the SD card was full, and then I tried to upload it and it wouldn't upload that stuff, or I could have showed you how hogged out this was behind here. And they just keep trying to hide it, you know, with this cover. So I filled it in, took a syringe, filled it in with epoxy, which I mixed with 1/32 milled fiber. Really superior stuff. And to cut it with your scissors, that's just really rudimentary. If you see that stuff is like $10 for a pound of it, and I bought a case of 7 pounds for like $49. So you do the math, it's much easier. It's like tape. Is that what you do too? Make your own tape? You know? But anyway, I had to build this tape up into the air so it basically touches the hatch. See, because I completely took this lip off. All above this, right here, the lip is about this high. Again, about another 7/16 high, the lip. Right there, all the way across. So I completely took it out, but then I had to rebuild a new lip out of epoxy because it, like I said, it was busted out right from here, all the way around here, and they had this covering it. And believe it or not, this was split in like pieces there, you know. And these aren't the same hatch latches. No, these are cheap tin Sea Dogs. Like I said, 15 bucks for a pair of 2, Cryovac pack of 2, you know. They're commercial. You know, universal, I mean. So let's go up through the hatch. There's also a safety hatch, so make sure you can get through. And then I took my router set here. These are round over, and I used the 1/4 inch. That's on the router right now. And then I rounded this over. So you can see, if you come up here, kid, because look at this, you don't really have much room here. Some kid comes up here and bashes her head. It's like, yeah, well, she's not going to split her head open. By the way, I built this up with 10-ounce tape because that's what that is. So we got 30 ounces of cloth here. So you can see the cloth sticking through. See the cloth? Yeah, so we're not going to get any of this on, you know, it's not impregnated with no fiber or nothing. Nope, and it's polyester, so now we've got impregnated with 1/16 milled fiber and cloth. So you see by me building the cloth right up to this height here, level with the hatch, which is the same as this outside piece, I was able to take my putty knife. Let's just pretend this is a putty knife because I don't have it, and I'm able to get the putty, and I'm able to push the putty up against the tape all around like this, and that way it didn't run down in. It was pretty level, and then I would go like this, and believe it or not, I didn't wet out the cloth up here. Actually, the fairing compound wetted out, and then I was able to do that. And so you see what I did here is I used see, it's cloth backed. Yeah, not so much better than regular paperback sandpaper. This is the stuff that's on belt sanders. It usually comes in like 80 grit, but this blue stuff comes in 36 grit, so I'm really in like short order out of that. You can take a machine, but why? By the time you get your machine out to do it, you're done already. Anyway, you won't have to go to the gym if you do it this way either. Yes. So, let's show you what it looked like. Okay, just from this stupid video camera in a few minutes, that's what it looks like now. And before, it looks like, yeah, I built this whole lip up, remember? Well, you can see it's wider than the back lip. The back lip is the original, and it's still made of this stuff. See, when I stand on it, I'll be standing on the epoxy, so this is not likely to break off in the back. It didn't break off before, so it's not likely going to do it. Isn't that weird? Yeah. You want to see that, do you? You don't believe me. Hey, look. Okay? Right before your eyes. Now wait, I'm going to get the machine to do that. Don't do that. It's too much work. Besides, I'm a bodybuilder, you know. I can't work, really. See how ironic Americans are? But I'll tell you what, see the way my finger thumb's on there? Look at it, it's all perforated. That there. You might even want to wear them surgical gloves for this because your fingers will be all raw by the time you're done. In fact, maybe you shouldn't do it at all because you're a pussy. You got like girls' hands. In fact, that's no disrespect to you girls. I just don't know what it's called because even you girls don't even have girls' hands like some of these guys do today. Isn't that true? Look, see how much is coming off of there? Hell yeah. Now see that little crack right there? I might have to like smear some in there. So you don't want to overdo it till you get every crack out. You want to make like a plane. In other words, level, plane. Now you could put a ruler up there and go, oh look at that. But actually I've got a good enough eye, and I'm pretty sure most people do. They got like little fun teeth. This was number 1, like a baseball game. Number 2, this was second coat, and now this will be the third coat. And that's why I don't sand so perfectly like you think, because then you get waves, and you're doing this side. Get all those little divots, like voids filled in, you know. Now you want to go all the way like that and make a nice flat plane, you know, flat. And then you come back and then you get your finger and fill in the low spots and then sand again and you should be done. And riding over the top. And there it is. This whole side done before your eyes. Did you get me my $600 tool yet at the store? You were riding around all day. Or did you go out in the garage and find it? Oh, you dropped it on the way over. Now make sure you hook the extension cord up. And make sure the electric company gets a piece of my action, right? If you want to call me a bastard, go ahead. It only means I did my job. Look at this quality. Quality workmanship. None rehearsed. None edited. See? Live. Here it's like such a big bubble sticking over that you kind of know you got to just sand that one spot, you know. So, you know, you get those people, well, you're supposed to go like this, why did you just go like this here? Well, if you look, it's obviously a really deep bubble. Hanging over the side like that, you know, like a big blister. Pretty close to the rest. Now look how I'm expanding again. That's right, I have a PhD in sandpaper. Obviously, because look, my sandpaper is cloth back 36 grit. So ask this, what do you use? Don't tell them what I use now. Ask them what they use first. Don't get your hopes all worked up and think you're just going to do it in 3 shots either, because it's going to take you 4. So yeah, when you get to 3, you'll be so close, you go, I'm not going to do it again, I'm sick of this. But you see that you put the next coat on, and then you just have to do like little spots, like maybe this piece and this piece would be all good. And you'll just have to spot the back piece there. Just a couple places, just like maybe 3 or 4 times, but just don't leave it at that. The mold from the factory wasn't exactly perfect. Now it'll be more perfect than the factory mold, certainly, and I know you can do it. If I can do it, you can. That's what you keep harping on. There you go. So what have we learned here so far? We've learned that Mr. Midshipman's not trying to sell us a whole bunch of tools and stuff. He's used just sandpaper to sand it, and didn't even try to sell electric to us from the electric company. We learned also some people, they put stuff like this on, these wing nuts are inbred. And you can see that the threads won't come loose from the knob. So the threads are actually, hear them squeaking, they're like cross threading, you know, like you put a lock nut on. So it's like double stupid. So we've also learned that if you would just admit that we do have inbred people and go, oh, this is one of the inbred Americans that did that, you'll see how much pressure that takes off you. You'll just go, oh God, what a relief. I thought that made sense. You don't. We've also learned that the time that it takes for Mr. Midshipman to make this video, he's also could have sanded this whole thing. Yep. That he's taken some time in his kindness to show you the way. We've also learned that these aftermarket parts, whether they're on a car or anything, are junk. And yeah, these, you can see that down here, where this was bolted in, it could flop out like that and get loose. So, what we didn't learn is why Mr. Midshipman has done away with this stuff. The cracks. Because all you'd have to do is stick another screw in there and another one there. Then you'd have more screws to catch your clothing on. That's what Mr. Midshipman thinks. Mr. Midshipman figures because he used the 1/16 reinforced white pigmented epoxy fairing compound that he mixed himself, he figures he could just make the same now. He wouldn't have to bother ever taking these out again. And it seems like there is like one about maybe 20 screws in there that you don't need to take in and out every time to fix something. He's also noticed that these dogs, these hatch latches, you can see the screws do not line up. So when you screw through here once and you screw through again, it just very may well do that, and then you'll have this going on under this, especially when you start drawing this down. And guess what? When it starts wobbling, it's gonna do it again. And now you got this here with the dog on it, with the latch on there, and it's just the most loveliest stuff. What he figures is, if these ever start, they're this way, see? Because of that. if they ever start getting loose, he can just take out 2 screws, not 22, counting all these, and he can just get a syringe or even his finger and just push some of the fairing compound putty in there. Epoxy, of course. And then he can make some little pilot holes, like 3/16, and put these back in. Oh, I'd say 1 inch long by number 6. That's what it looks like to me. Yes, stainless steel screws. And he'll stick them right in there, and they will be perfect. Yes. Unlike over here, we also learned that this section right here is all busted out from that. And now look, you can see the whole deck flexes in my extreme weight. See that? Look at that. You can actually, the camera's not showing, you can see, yeah, because it's fiberglass, it's springy like a diving board, you know. Yes. And check that out. Do they make diving boards out of polyester? I want you to do some homework and do some shit to bash the people that are inbred. You can tell an inbred person because they have an insatiable appetite. You know? Feed me. Get in my belly. I'm sad because I eat too much. And I eat too much because I'm sad. And I'm sad because I eat too much. The immortal words of Fat Bastard. So, there's some of that cloth. And no, you can't even rip a little strand of it. See? It's fiberglass. Super strong. So now we are super strong. We don't have to do any of this hiding, like, oh God, it's all hogged out here. We just have to hide it and stuff with this RV cover stuff. Cover up our screw-ups. Just hide it, and then we'll just stick this hatch latch over top of it, and nobody will see it. Yes, and then we'll just stick a big bungee cord across the hatch to hold it down. But make sure you go up there and curse that Mr. Midshipman, because he's no midshipman, because his hatch is going to be not only water dry, but he'll be able to go in outer space. It'll be airtight. When I draw these are the dogs. Try to take these stupid things off. Oh my God, I get it. Come on. If you don't think that's freaking inbred shit, what is? I mean, that takes some real thinking to do that. You just can't, you know, they just don't come with the boat. You have to, like, actually go out and waste time shopping for them and put them on there. Trying to act like these, which have, like, you can see a spatial, they're not broken by no means. No. It's not to lock them or they'd be on the other way. So it's just total insanity, dude. So, you know, actions are much louder than words. Right there's one of their actions. Now that guy's running all over the internet going, and my daddy did that, so he knows what he's doing. They usually have that accent like that too. Yeah, and they think the people in Nebraska and stuff talk like that, but they don't. So anyway, that's what we've learned. Quite a lot of stuff. Stuff that we didn't even have anything to do with the boat, see?